Hi, and thanks so much for joining me. Today we are featuring this new foundation by Chanel, as well as featuring some other new Chanel products. If you'd like to see that, please keep watching. Just arrived in the mail from the Chanel boutique. Here we have the Sublimage Ultimate Radiance Generating Serum Foundation, and I have mine in the shade B40. We also have some lovely samples. We have the Micro Serum and the Micro Cream. There's also a cute little mini bag in here. Oh wow, we have all of the samples. So that's going to be really helpful in case you want to try anything. That's amazing. We have samples of the Le Blanc cream and serum. We have a toner and an eye makeup remover. And finally, the foundation. And this comes with a brush, so we'll see how that works with the foundation as well. This is a shade B40, and of course I will swatch every single shade that I received at the end, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And I will also swatch these against other foundations that I have in case you'd like a comparison. We'll also be featuring 604 Brun Rouge, one of the new blushes. I'll also be featuring Chance, which is one of the new Coco Rouge Bloom shades. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm just gonna apply straight on, no primer today. This is again B40, so they didn't have anything that was BD41, which is the better shade match for me. And I have tried applying this with the brush that comes with it. And I've tried it with this brush, the Celadon brush. And I've tried applying it with my clean hands. Now, clean hands I think works really well, but if you want a brush, the Shiseido works better. I found that this brush in general deposits the foundation onto the face rather than absorbing it, which is why I love this brush so much, because I feel like you get the most out of your products this way. Plus, the application is just seamless. Really, blending is very minimal to non-existent with this. Not that it's not in existence, that doesn't make sense. Blending is not really required with this because it applies it so evenly. So you can see a thin layer, and I think this is how this is used best, with a nice thin layer. It looks very skin-like. I feel like you need more than just a pump for the entire face. I had one pump and that was half of my face. I feel like I use more of this foundation than other foundations for some pretty light coverage. So this one doesn't look like makeup though, and that's why I like it in a thinner layer. So if you like a no foundation, this really delivers that. So this side, I'm going to just apply with my clean hands here. You'll see one thing about this brush, yeah, I prefer actually, never mind. I prefer it with this brush. So I think this is one of those foundations where you can still see the skin, which I like. I like being able to see most of the skin. Now I do want a little bit more coverage in the front though. But you can see that I still need to conceal, but it does a beautiful job of evening out, looking very second skin-like. And I think this is probably my closest shade match. It's a little bit cool, a little bit light for my forehead, but that's not a new thing. So I'm going to show you how I use that brush. I have the Clay de Peau concealer in Mocha. So as usual, I just conceal these areas. So we'll do half, just so you can see. And then I like this brush for concealer. It's a really great brush for that. It really puts the product into the skin, and it seems to work better with cream products versus liquid. So if you don't like this brush for the foundation, I would use this for concealer. I think it's really good. So it quickly just integrated that concealer in. Really nice job. And especially in these areas here, because it's got that tapered end, I really like it for this. Next, I'm going in with my, it's like the end of the day, so I've been sitting in front of a device all day, and that's why I get some fatigue under my eyes here. So we're going in with this Sisley concealer under the eye, which I love. Let's see how this brush works. I haven't tried it. It does actually a nice job under the eye. I really like that brush for that. Okay, so let's go in with the La Prairie concealer, this one. Under eye concealer, whoops, makes a huge difference. And then a little bit of Clé de Peau in the corner. And a little bit of the Camouflage Stylo on the eyelids. This is Chantecaille. Let's go ahead with the bronzer. This is what I use for bronzer, the Le Beige right here. Okay, I'm going to powder. Oh, I may have gone a little overboard. I'm going to powder now. I do have the Chanel powder, but this works really well with the Clé de Peau powder. So I'm going to set with that because I really like the finish with these two combined. So setting with the Clé de Peau. Then we've got the Chantecaille Hummingbird powder, of course. We're gonna go in now with eyebrows. I've got the waterproof eyebrow pencil, Chanel, in 810. Just applying a bit of the Suq eyebrow gel, the clear one. I'm gonna just put a little detail up here with this Dior. I don't think I went in far enough. I thought Blurry Green would be pretty because I'm going to use a couple of the new shades that I just picked up. So let's go in with this antique color. Let's go with that all over the lid. I think that's as far as we'll go simply because it's not light, even though it's, I think it's the lightest shade in there, but it does have some color to it. Beautiful one and done. There's so many beautiful one and dones in here. One and dones? Yeah, one and dones. Let's take this color, the deepest color, and I'm going to go in the exterior, on the exterior. So right now it actually doesn't look so green. So if you want to do like a cool neutral kind of look, this is really pretty, just like this. I mean, not just like this, let me blend it first. I'm gonna take a little bit of that gold and see how that looks in the crease, that coppery color. Okay, that is pretty. It's getting a little bit more intense than I intended, but let's keep going. I'm gonna take a little bit of the green here and just pat that on right in between that deepest shade and the initial color that I placed. So right here, just kind of transition the two. And just, you'll get a little hint of green. It's not too much, just a little bit. We're gonna have to take Celadon and line with that. Let me find it. Here it is. We're gonna have to take Celadon and just line from like the outer third. Let's take the antique color and run it underneath. Deepest shade here, and then put it just on the exterior right here and connect. I'll tighten line with Blackwood, add some mascara. I'll be right back. Let's go in with a splash. We have Brun Rouge. I played with this just a little bit this morning because I was so curious, and it looks very different, I think, in the pan than it does on. In a good way, though. It looks like a beautiful apricot color to me. Like a burnt apricot. I don't even know how they describe this, but very much an apricot hue. And I don't have a shade like this. I thought it would go really well with the green though. It does have a sun-kissed kind of appearance to it. Kind of like Alizane has that kind of appearance on. And so does the holiday one, chain one. Went kind of light on it just because I wanted to keep it kind of balanced with the eye. Oh, I do want to go in with the highlighter though. Where is it? This beautiful one. I think it will go really well with this shade. Pretty. Okay, and let me just fix my eye makeup because I usually do this. I put a little bit of this in the corners. I just kind of smudge it in like this. We have the shade 110 Chance, and I tried this morning. Another beautiful shade. So this looks more like flesh toned, or like, I don't know, not pink, but on me it has a little bit of pink. I think it's so pretty. So pretty. Yeah, it definitely has like a Rouge Coco flash feel, but more pigment and actually looks glossier. Okay, so let's look at the claims really quickly. It says it's an exquisite foundation with a serum-like texture that melts into skin and instantly creates a smoother, more radiant looking complexion. And I agree with that. Although I have to say that powdering it is really essential for me. I did try it without powder and it didn't last as long. It kind of just disappeared throughout the day. So powder is essential for me to get this to stay in place and to look good. And it's starting to get warmer too. So I think the weather is also affecting the way my makeup behaves. Day after day, skin maintains a luminous appearance. So I have been using for a week, and I'm using some new skincare too, so that could be it, but I definitely have a smooth kind of feeling to my skin. It says it moisturizes and plumps the look of skin, which I agree with. My skin is quite dry these days, so it's really nice to have something like this to really kind of smooth everything out. And I think you can see, even with powder, that smooth looking texture. Yeah, so I feel like it looks really smooth even with powder on, and it does feel quite supple. I noticed that it looks like a really nice skin. So I am pleased with this foundation, but I feel like I need to set it properly. I feel like this brush is not the best brush for it. The Shiseido brush works better, or Clean Hands. This is great though for concealer. I love it with the Clé de Peau powder. So if you're having trouble setting this, try that powder if you have it and just see what happens, because the powder did have an impact on how the foundation worked overall on me. I'm very pleased with the Clé de Peau loose powder with this. I think it really maximizes the potential of this foundation. As promised, I have comparison swatches for you here of various Chanel foundations. Starting with the current foundation, again in my shade B40. Then we have the Le Beige Healthy Glow Foundation, and this is in BD41, which is the best shade match for me. So you can see the difference there, but this still does work quite well. Then in the Healthy Glow Foundation, we have BD51. Next is the Le Beige Sheer Healthy Glow Moisturizing Tint. This is in the shade Medium Plus. Next is the CC Cream in 40 Beige. Next is Ultra Le Teint in BD41. Next is the Vita Lumiere Aqua in 40 Beige. Then we have Ultra Le Teint Velvet in 40 Beige. Now let's go ahead and swatch all of the shades that are available in the foundation. Here we have all of the shades in the foundation that are available. Starting here, we have B10, BR12, B20, BD21, BR22, B30, B40, B70, BD91, BD121, BR132, BR152. And this right here is my shade B40. Oh, I do love the cheek and lip color as well as the eye. I love blurry green. But that's it for today's video, so please take care of each other, stay well. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Hi, and thanks so much for joining me. Today we are doing what are we doing? Right here, Brun Rouge 604. Whoa, I almost dropped it.